Okay, so we're back. This is week 2 of the 2024 NFL football season. I'm going to give you my picks. We're going to keep doing this every week. I didn't get a ton of views. I only got like 20 views. I told everyone about it. Here it is. Here's my picks. And it hit. I'm not going to be able to do this every week. But here, I will give you, I don't want to put this on Facebook because I don't like people knowing how much I win if I win. This is who I like this week. You can pause that to get a good look at it. But anyways, the Bills are playing the Dolphins tonight. I like the Bills are getting 2.5. The Bills have beaten the Dolphins. They're 11-2 the last 13 times they played them. The Dolphins, they did win last week. I thought they could have lost that game. The Bills started slow, but they won. The Colts are only giving 2.5 to Green Bay. This game is all about Jordan Love is not playing. Malik Willis is playing. I don't think he had a single touchdown pass when he was at Tennessee previously. He's the same draft class as Kenny Pickett. I think he went to Liberty University. He didn't do well at Tennessee, so I don't think he's going to do very well against the Colts either. I'm taking the Colts. The Chargers are playing Carolina. They were really bad, and Bryce Young was really bad. The Chargers have Bosa and that other pass rusher. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. You know, that's the goal of these. You take the Colts and the Chargers. My golden rule: never bet against an underdog at home. Well, when they have bad quarterbacks. And then the last game is the over on the Saints and the Cowboys, 47. I think that's a good one. I've done my homework with these games. I didn't see any major injuries. I watched all of their. And I'm telling you, you got to watch these games. You got to see what they did week 1. If you watch prime time and just look at the scores and the highlights, that's not good enough. What you can do is if you go to the extended highlights on ESPN, or not ESPN, YouTube rather, they'll put the entire game on in about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, I'm going to tell you, they're going to cut out a lot of short runs, a lot of incomplete passes. Sometimes that stuff matters, but I do that too because it's hard to watch every game. And especially, I drink when I'm watching and I forget what goes on. I watch those. If you go to type in the two teams and you say a preview, they'll give you a nice, the NFL channel will give you a nice preview of each game. I will tell you my thoughts on the other games. The first one, I'm from Pittsburgh. I do like the Steelers. I'm a fan of the Steelers. I don't care how they win. I don't care how much they win by. I just want them to win. So they're a favorite. I don't like betting on them. But I don't think a rookie quarterback from Denver can beat that defense. I just don't see that happening. And I do think they'll cover 2.5. I don't want to touch that. The Ravens game was one that I really looked at. Gardner Minshew is the quarterback for the Raiders. He was not terrible in week 1, but he wasn't great. He did make some nice passes. I think the Ravens are going to be too much for that team. They're given nine points right now. That's a lot. It is in Baltimore. What spooked me was their lead pass rusher, Noy or Voy or some, Kyle Vaughn something. He's their lead pass rusher, and he has some kind of orbital injury. I don't think he's going to play. And so for that reason, I laid off that game. Washington and the Giants. This was another game that I looked at on my betting app. They had Washington at 2.5. Well, my like sports app, it just has them at 1.5. Well, I saw 2.5. I didn't want to touch it. If it had been 1.5, you probably need to do some more research on that rookie quarterback from Washington. I think he's from LSU. Jaden, I think is his name. But Washington played fair last week. The Giants suck. The Giants are awful. I didn't watch that game. If I would have bet on that, I would have watched the condensed versions on YouTube. But without seeing those, this could be the game that I think Josh Daniels is the quarterback's name for the Giants. This could be the game that he gets benched. I'm going to Google real quick their depth chart, see who their backup is. New York Giants depth chart. Let's if they have anything that's half worth over Daniel Jones, that's who it is. Drew Lock, they're not going to be much different. Drew Lock he did all right. I mean, he didn't do great, but he didn't do terrible. Then the Chargers, they take the Panthers. We've already talked about that. There's the Colts game. The 49ers in Minnesota. On my app here, it's saying 5.5. The 49ers are a 5.5 point favorite. I'll take the 49ers. I don't think Aaron Darnold is very good for the Vikings. Cleveland and Jacksonville. On my app, it's giving Jacksonville 3, or Jacksonville is giving 3, so they're a 3-point favorite. I like Jacksonville. I thought about betting on this game. I would have liked this one much better if Jacksonville was only giving 2.5. I feel like this game is going to be a push. Seattle and the Patriots. Okay, so there's two teams that I didn't watch very much of last week. I know Jacob Brissett, he has a lot of experience. I don't know that he's, a quality starter. He does have a lot of experience. And then Geno Smith on Seattle, he played really well last year. If you're going to put my hand in the fire, I'll say Seattle. But that one, I feel like Seattle's going to win by a field goal. So if you're getting 3.5, you're going to lose that bet. Then the Jets playing the Titans. Now, the Jets, we're going to give them a mulligan because they played San Francisco, and San Francisco's really good. I think the Jets are going to be a good team this year. I know a lot of people were high on them. They're giving 4. That's a lot on the road. I'd probably still take the Jets if I have to. That's like everyone's high on Green Bay. Kenny Pickett and the Steelers beat Jordan Love last year. Maybe you could say that was Jordan Love's learning game, but, he did well in the playoffs. That was a Cowboy choke job, and the 49ers almost threw that game away. Then there's the Lions and the Buccaneers. That'll be a fun game to watch. The Lions are giving 7.5. That is just too much. The over-under is 51.5. Those 50-point over-unders, I like the under. That one, I'll take the over. The Rams at the Cardinals. This is another one I thought about betting on. I like the Rams, but they lost I heard their young receiver is hurt, and he's not going to play. I'll still take the Rams. I wouldn't bet on it, though. The Bengals and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are giving 5.5 at home. The Bengals play well against good teams, but they just are so bad early in the season. I will take the Chiefs. That 48.5, I think, is a good over-under. I wouldn't mess with that. Then the Bears at Houston. Houston is giving 6.5. There was a game that I almost bet on last week, the Bears and the Titans, and I would have lost. 6.5, I'm still going to take Houston. That 45.5, Texans could. I'll probably take the over in that game. And Atlanta and the Eagles. The Eagles. I like the Eagles. They're giving 6.5. I thought I have to work Monday night, so I can't watch this game. I thought about taking this one too. I don't think Atlanta can score. I did wonder last week when the Eagles played Atlanta, or when the Eagles played Green Bay, and they weren't. I'm like, is this going to be the same Eagles team that crumbled at the end of the season last year? But they have a running back now who's Barkley, who's really good. I think the Eagles can cover 6.5. That over under, I would probably take the under because I don't think the Falcons can score. But that wraps it up. That's about all we got time for. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I'll show it one more time. Here we go, if we can get it to focus. There we go, that's about as good as you're going to get. Maybe back it up some. But all right, thank you. Enjoy the weekend. Good luck if you took my bet.